before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm not gonna wake up. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. Like you already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait and see if it's worth your while. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. Feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. Just take a hint. You got a free pass. Oh, try to hide it, but you had me from the get-go. Let me be frank, I'm not that complicated. If you need me, what's the use of playing games? No, there's no denying what we want. Just watch me break it. You're sweet. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think, and who cares if you might miss it? Shine, go ahead and shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are back on firing on all cylinders after a big launch. So today we're going to talk about what happened during the launch, what I learned, and what I'm going to do differently. For those who are joining me out on the live stream, make sure you comment. Let me know if you are a sparkler. You know what to do. Drop me some purple hearts and sparkles. And if you're brand new here to the Sparkle World, we love to welcome new people to the Sparkle World. So make sure you let us know that you're new and how did you come across this crazy world that we have. So this is something we do every single Monday or Tuesday, depends on where you are in the world. Mark this time right now in your calendar because this is the time I come in here live most Mondays, okay? We do have a contingency plan in place now that the team, when I'm sick, are actually going to come in or during a launch. So for those that were like, where did Sally disappear? She was sick one week and then the next week I was in the middle of a launch. So I'm back. Hey everyone, hi. All right guys, so this is how we roll here in Monday Mentoring. First thing is I come to you with a little bit of content, right? I'm going to teach you something, share some news with you. That content becomes part of a podcast. We take snippets from it. Our team repurpose the content. So that's what happens at the start of Monday Mentoring. And then we do Q&A. So if you've got any questions at all, please drop your questions with the letter Q, okay, so that I can see them, because I don't read all the comments that come flying on in because we're streaming across multiple platforms. So make sure you do drop a Q for me to be able to see the questions with all the comments coming in. Go practice. ask me a question. And then also we've got our VIPs, which are sitting over in the room. Some VIPs like to come in the second hour and they prefer to watch on the live stream and come on in. We've got a couple of people that have already joined us in the VIP room. Hi, VIPs. So we've got a few of those guys in there right now, and they are waiting for Q&A time because the second hour we go dark. So in the second hour, I go in, I dig into their sexy numbers, look at all their automation, and we give advice, and we also set our weekly goals together. Because if we don't know the destination we're trying to get to, how are we going to get there? So we also intentionally set our goals for those that turn up live as well to help you get some focus. So there we go. That's how mentoring with Sally works. See, I got it right. It has been called Monday Mentoring for years, and because we moved the day, well, it's still Monday in America, but I lost the vote. And apparently it's now called Mentoring with Sally, even though I thought, can it not be with Sally? I don't know. I don't know why I didn't want it with Sally. But anyway, I lost the vote. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about the content. Get stuck into that. Make sure I have my sound, my sexy sound, looking good, because my podcast ladies are going to be like, make sure that sound is good. I'm doing it, Ma Joyce. I'm on it. All right. So let's do it. Let's head over to... That one was muted. All right, here we go. We just recently launched, and oh my goodness, I learned so much from our launch. We kind of dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, which was not intentional. I had an accidental funnel, and you've heard me probably speak about this accidental funnel over the last few months. But for those that don't know, let me share with you a bit of the backstory of how I created an accidental funnel that I didn't intentionally set out to create, and how it kind of messed with our business model over the last few months. And it really comes back to the most important thing that I teach is messaging. It all comes back to messaging. So let me give you some backstory. So every year I work with Amy Porterfield to launch with her into Digital Course Academy. Now, Amy is absolutely amazing, and I love doing the DCA launch every single year. And every year that I've done it with her, we always run an accountability pod. So we bring all of the people in who have joined with me as their accountability buddy, and we run a weekly accountability session. Now, Digital Course Academy is all about creating an online course, and I've always created my courses live because I totally say sparkle with imperfect action and just do it live. So that's one of the methodologies that we teach inside of the Freedom Funnel Academy about how to build it live. Best way to validate what it is that you want to sell is to just deliver it live and see if people buy, rather than spending years and years and years building out a program and then having no one to sell it to because you haven't built a list and all of the things that go into running a successful business. So this time around, when we launched with Amy, instead of just being an accountability buddy and giving advice and, pushing them to work through and move forward, I decided that, hey, why don't I show this group of people how easy it is to build and launch a course? So I thought, well, what can I build and launch a course in, the 10 weeks that we spend with Amy and literally work through her program alongside her and alongside the people that I was mentoring along the way. And I thought, I've been a Canva certified creative since its inception, back when it started, and I was one of the first 20 people invited. I teach Canva inside my program, and it's a fun task. It takes me back to really my roots of where I started. I used to teach design and graphics and all the things at university, and before I quit to do this business full time, that's what I was. I was a graphic designer and also a graphic design teacher. So I thought, well, hey, this is a skill set that I have, and it could be really fun. I could do it out over, a few weeks and show people how to do it. So we got the Facebook ads team on board and we said, hey, let's run a little bit of money, not a lot, just a little bit of money towards filling up this Canva group that we started. And, well, what happened was I thought I would get a couple of hundred people join. It'd be a bit of fun. I'd have like just this little tiny course on the side that I could give away as a bonus. When people join our program, hey, fast action bonus, Canva training or something like that. Well, it turned into a beast. It turned into a massive, massive beast. In 30 days, we had 3,500 people join this training. And we also offered a VIP upgrade. So our leads were coming in. We got them down to about, I think it was about $7. But by the time we took into account the VIP upgrade, we were down to about $3 per email. And my ads guy's like, if I have to fly to Australia so you do not turn off these ads, I am going to do it. Because they were coming in hot, they were coming in low, and then at the end we decided, well, what are we going to do with these people at the end? Like, I created the course live with a VIP upgrade that I was then going to turn into a course. But then I'm like, well, I'm all about business and, money and helping people create a lifestyle of their dreams, teaching things that they love to do. And Canva was very lovingly called inside the team the Shiny Ball Project, right? It's for people that are dabbling, making pretty graphics, but are not seriously thinking about the strategy behind all the social media content that they're making. But they're making lots of pretty things, but they've got no back-end strategy. And I felt kind of bad. Like I'd sort of done a disservice to these 3,500 people that I've shown them how to use Canva, but then what? What are they supposed to do now that's actually going to help them grow a business? Because making pretty graphics is not going to grow a business. It's a shiny thing. So then I thought, well, I had already previously started to make a personal branding course a long time ago because it was very much linked to branding, which I had lots of clients when I was in the graphic design industry. I had lots of clients that I did complete branding for: signage, logos, car wraps. I mean, you name it, a whole book, a design guide, and everything that goes along with creating a complete brand identity. So I thought, well, now they're in Canva playing with pretty graphics, why don't I started to map out, well, Canva nicely steps into personal branding. So why don't I create a personal branding so that they can stop fluffing around for 3 hours trying to pick one photo or pick one color? Once they've got their branding sorted, they can quick and easily snap out graphics really fast. And then the next logical step was, now they've got a brand, they can stand out. At the end of the day, the very first thing you should be doing, even if you don't yet have a product, is you should be growing your email list. So that was the next logical step. So I decided before the DCA training was finished, like I only planned, when I sold DCA, I promised that everyone could get access to one course. And they all got the Canva course. But before I finished the training, I just felt bad that I've taught them something but kind of left them floundering. So then I upsold. Everybody who did the Canva challenge, I gave them the opportunity to buy the personal branding, which had not yet been built, and the list growth, which had not yet been built. And we had this, it was called Canva Made Easy, Personal Branding Made Easy, and then List Growth Made Easy. Or you could buy all three before they're built, and you would be a founding student inside of Business Building Made Easy, and you would get all three of the programs. Now, we sold that for $497, I think, from memory, and we got about 70 people that eventually ended up joining that program. So our lead cost dropped again. And we didn't do so well in the launch of the personal branding. I think the messaging wasn't on point. We didn't do a lot of research into messaging. So Canva went crazy, right? And we still, up until 2 weeks ago, were still actually paying for ads and filling that on the side. Not a lot, like maybe $20 a day, maybe. Or it was very low. We tested the personal branding, but I literally went from one program into the next. We didn't test the messaging. We didn't know if the target audience was correct. I realized that maybe people don't really know what personal branding is, and some people just talk about branding or business branding, and we just really didn't test it enough. And I didn't give the team enough time to do any research into how did the clients talk about personal branding? Was it a thing that they actually wanted or felt that they really needed? And so we didn't get a great deal of signups. We had, a lot of people who had previously purchased, but again, we ran it for free and then took it away from anyone who did it for free. So that really, really pointed out to me that this is why messaging is so important, right? Yeah, we had an accidental funnel with Canva because people want to make pretty shiny things, but the personal branding is a little bit more intensive. It's more business focused, but we didn't really show the transformation in the messaging that they were getting at the end of personal branding. I know what it gives them. I know it's going to allow them to speed up their design process. I know they won't spend hours inside of Canva trying to pick one photograph. So it will give them back time and also indecision and understanding lots of kind of stuff that I used to teach. Literally, I used to teach this at uni to people. So we did all of that. Then we went into the list growth one in the new year to kind of finish it all out. And again, at the end of personal branding, we sold people again into business building made easy. We had the opportunity now to have 2 finished programs, and then they only had to wait for January to start the 3rd program. So we got them sort of up, and we all took our Christmas break and came back, and we've literally just last week finished the list growth made easy, which created that whole three programs in one. And again, we didn't really test the messaging. So we did okay, but our lead costs were up there. We ended up making about 2 cents a lead. So we did continue to grow, but between Canva, the VIP upgrades, and the business building made easy, we didn't lose any money. We broke even, which is, actually breaking even is the intention, or losing a little bit of money is the intention of the top end of the funnel. You don't make money when you first collect an email address. But what this did is, one, point out to me the importance of messaging and honing in our message. Now, we were doing really well prior to me getting this accidental funnel with Amy. Our messaging was really good. We were attracting the right types of clients that wanted to learn what we were teaching. It had got our business to the point where I was hiring team, we've got all the things. But our money growth sort of stopped when our focus shifted. We were still getting clients, but nowhere near like we were getting before, because I had dug myself this hole that I didn't want to be of disservice to all of these people. But at the end of the day, they were not my ideal client. You see, my ideal client is somebody who has a huge belief in they're going to be successful in their business. They have a massive belief that they're going to get there no matter what, even if they've got to sell things from their wardrobe to get their business off the ground, which is exactly what I did. I was selling things to get the software, to get the coaches, to do whatever it took. I asked my husband to give me 5 years of spending to create a business. Please trust me, it's going to happen. It'll be good. You'll retire one day. Also, the types of clients we served is because of the complexity of automation, and it is my zone of genius. Sexy numbers and automation. Most of the people that are attracted to us already know what it is that they do. They want to teach people, but they just don't know how to piece all of the moving parts together. And they wanted a simple pathway to do that without excuses, without running a business on a shoestring budget. So it might sound like a lot of money to spend $497, but our bigger 12-month program is a lot more expensive, right? It's a full transformation, guaranteed ROI, providing you do the things. Most of our clients always get their money back in the first few months through the projects that we give them. But here's the thing. Because we were so focused on testing all of these other messaging, and we were literally spreading ourselves across 3 different programs, Canva, personal branding, and list growth. And oh my goodness, the amount of list growth ads that started popping up on my news feed, because everyone knows they need list growth, or that's the thing that you first teach people when it comes to starting your business. I mean, it comes up at conference after conference after conference. What would you do differently? 1 is list growth. 2 is focus on one thing. And what were we doing wrong? Sure, we were growing a massive list, really, really cheap, but we were attracting the wrong people because we weren't honing in on our message. We were trying to message 3 different products with 3 different transformation points, 3 different wants, and different price points as well. What are people willing to spend? So this is the importance of what we always talk about, building one thing and dialing it in. I wasn't going to dial it in. I was just looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest, to get to the other side, because where my audience is now, what we were teaching is was where my audience was 4 years ago or 3 years ago. That's what I taught right back when I started this business, was how to hit the go live button. And now that you're going live, start to grow your email list. That's where I started. But I've grown so much, fallen in love with automation since then. I dream about tags and squiggly lines, and I do math meditation in the morning. Like, I've grown so much as a business owner. I have a team now, that the audience I was attracting was Amy's people, startups. I was attracting people who had not even considered building a course. They were just fluffing around in sparkly graphics thinking that that's a strategy, right? The shiny ball program. And the ones that you see that do really successful inside of Digital Course Academy have that belief that they're going to make it, regardless of whether they have to spend money on software or not. They're ready to spend the money on the software because they know they need it to build a strong foundation to build their business upon. But in this group, people were scared about spending $20 a month on Canva. Right? And to get them to then invest in software, it was really tricky. Like, we didn't have the messaging right to make them really see why the foundational software is better to build it strong and robust rather than cheap, nasty software. But we learned the types of clients and why. This is the other thing we did learn in our messaging, is how to help those types of people that are not yet there. They want a business, but they're still thinking that they can use MailChimp and Google Forms to actually run a sustainable, scalable business. So we learned a lot on how to help people have that mindset shift. And I would have to say, looking back now, if I hadn't done it, I would not have actually appreciated as much as I do the program that is our actual core program. The types of transformations we get inside of the program. And then also it pointed out to us, what are the clients we don't want to attract? We don't want to attract people who want to run a business on a shoestring budget. We don't want to attract people who are going to make excuses and not take action. We don't want to attract people that spend 5 hours in pretty graphics and think that that's a strategy, right? But then we want to shift the mindset of those that have a belief that they're going to make it no matter what. And they just need to see that the path, our path, is the right path, which is what we've always taught our clients, is helping your clients see if you can just make them have that mindset shift to see that if they follow your complete recipe, your complete transformation, that they will get there. And that's been a huge, huge learning experience for us. Moving forward, my team are so happy. We are now back to our real core program. And here's the thing, it's going to cost us more money to get the right types of people, because there is less people that are actually serious business owners. Take network marketing, for example. I was in network marketing. I was in the top 1% of the company, winning trophies on the stage, being the top recruiter in all of the Australia APAC region. So Australia, Pacific, all of the Asian countries, being the top recruiter. And then in the world, I was number 3. But then you look at the thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands of people in the company, and there was like a handful of us on stage that actually ran our business like a business and didn't think that if we bought a $149 kit, we're going to make ourselves $1 million business. We realized it's going to take ads. I was one of very few people that actually ran Facebook ads in network marketing. I taught my uplines, downlines, and people not even in my line how to run ads to attract people to you in network marketing, because I knew that it was faster to pay for ads. So the same thing is when we're attracting people to our core offer, there's less. This is why most people fail at business, because they don't realize we need tech, we need strategy. You see, it's not that there's a lack of knowledge and resources out there. You can literally YouTube, Google everything. Everything is available on the internet. But the people that pay want the faster path. They want the complete A to Z, not just pretty graphics, not just personal branding. They know that there's more to running a business, that as serious business owners need to look at the data. You need to see the numbers to make informed decisions. We can't post online and expect people will just come running to us, say, take my card, take my card. So now we've really, what the biggest learning thing for me was messaging. So important. Making sure you're talking to the right person and you're actually speaking to the person that may not be where they want to be, but you're speaking to them from the place they want to be. So showing them, maybe they are not 100% there yet. Maybe they've still got an idea, but it may not be a course yet. But if I just speak to the people, because I'm like, if I just speak to the people who have an idea, then these other people that have already got the idea and running a business, they're going to look at that and say, well, I've already got a business and I'm already running a business, so I don't need the idea. So we speak to those that have the business. They've either sold one or they've helped one and seen that their model works, their method works. Now, that doesn't mean that even though I'm speaking to these people up here, that the ones down here with an idea aren't still listening. Because one day they're going to be hanging around and go, now I got the idea. And they're like, I want to be there. And they're the visionaries. They're the ones that are looking up and seeing the future before they get there. So no longer do we speak down to those people who are not quite sure what they want to do. The ideal client is you've either sold one or you've helped one, so that we have something to work with. So that's the difference between what Amy teaches. She teaches you how to kind of pull out your idea and start new, where once they've actually created it, that's where I step in. And it's really made a massive shift, and just honestly, the importance of getting your messaging right. Now, inside our program, we do a project called Message Mining, and I talk about this all the time inside of our program. It's the first thing I get everybody to do when they join, is actually interview people who are not yet our clients, but are our ideal client, because we want to find out how they speak, what they say, because in all of our copy, everything that we write, we need to write to speak to what they think that they need. We know nobody ever comes to me and says, I need an automated marketing funnel and some strategy, please. They don't. They come to me and they go, I need more customers. I need to make more money. It's not what they need. That's what they think they need. That's actually what they want, more customers, money. But what they need is a strategy. You can't just be guessing and hoping and praying. You've got to read your numbers, read your data. But if I said that to people all the time, people would be like, too hard, head in the sand. I'm just going to keep posting pretty graphics. Just put a link in my IG profile and we're good to go. But my serious people will be like, they already know this inside. They just need to believe that it's possible. So that's really honestly the best thing. And we have now gone back and guess what? And I say we do this every 6 to 12 months. And I would say we did this 6 months ago when we started the Canva training, but we got a little sidetracked, but we're back to message mining again. Kat literally has booked in 6 appointments with current clients that have purchased, and I'm about to reach out to people that have not yet purchased and have a conversation for those that don't yet speak our verbiage, and then also a conversation with those who, what were they thinking before they purchased from us? So what was the pain point that made them stay, listen, think that this is the option for them? Then what made them pull out their credit card and say, yes, this is the thing that I knew was going to get me where I want? And then the final question will be, and now that you've been through the program, what are the results? You know, what did you find was the best part of the program? So that's what we're going to do with our current clients. So we've already locked a few appointments in. And then I'm going to also reach out to a cold audience where I know my ICA lies, just for research questions, to get them on a call, have a chat with them, and reaffirm that our messaging is on point. And I highly recommend that you do this at least every 6 months, because you as a business owner will learn and grow. Your program that you start with or have been doing will pivot and grow with you. Your clients will grow with you. And you need to keep coming back and redoing. And this is what we've just done with the whole new Freedom Funnel Academy. Over the X amount of years that we've been running the sales and marketing school, we kept adding more stuff. Where we saw people get stuck, we would add more content in there to get them over the biggest stuck points. But not until we worked with all of these clients did we know that repeating pattern by looking at the data where they got stuck the most. And from that, we're able to get them to the end result faster, because people pay for speed, right? They can find the stuff on the internet everywhere. But the reason why they'll pay for your program, whether it's teaching them how to have better gut health, whether it's running a business, or whether it's a lifestyle thing, they pay for the fastest path to get to the result. Because it's not a lack of stuff out there. It's everywhere. It's just, how do we put it together in the right order? And that's why we hire experts. That's why I still have a coach, right? If your coach doesn't have a coach, then I'd be asking yourself the question, why not? Why not? If they say that everyone should have a coach, they should also have a coach. Like a psychologist should have a psychologist, right? Because we're aware that that's what makes it work. I mean, your top athletes, top people in business all have their own coaches. And big, massive Fortune 500 companies get coaches in for different levels of their team. Whether they call them coaches or mentors or whatever they call them, they have somebody else from the outside looking at their stuff. So there you go. That's the backstory of this massive accidental funnel, this huge hole. But I did learn a lot. And now we're back. We're back in the Freedom Funnel Academy. And I'm so excited because we are now speaking again to our ideal client where we are today. where I was actually selling a program of where I was about 3 or 4 years ago. And we are well beyond just list growth now. We've got long-term nurtures. We have that one thing that we dialed in, and we're going to dial it in again and again. And this is what we teach you, is find that one thing and dial it in. Don't go run a webinar and then a challenge and then make 50,000 PDFs. Choose one thing and hone it in so your lead costs are coming down, you're speaking to the right clients, you're getting the right amount of yeses. Like each step, one lead magnet for a year. Run the one lead generating thing for a year. One traffic source. You look at all of our social media platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You will be able to easily tell which one traffic source we focused on. 120,000 people on Facebook versus 500 people on YouTube. But we've been able to grow this massive business. I wouldn't call it massive, lovely, small business. But I can pay wages out of the income that this business generates. One lead magnet, one traffic source. You don't need to be on all the things. You don't. You can put things on the other things, but learn the strategy behind the one platform. Not just the use of it, but the strategy behind it. One message. No, don't try and sell 3 courses. That's 3 messages, 3 totally different audiences. One message to your one core product, right? So there we go. We've got those 3 things. Also, one offer. What is the thing that you're selling? What is the complete transformation? Doesn't mean it won't shift and change as you grow, but you need to be super clear on what is the one big result that you promise, that one big promise that you'll get them to at the end. Then, of course, you've got one way to sell. There are lots of different ways to sell, but if you're trying to sell in DMs, you're trying to sell in a webinar, you're trying to sell on consult calls, you are not focusing in on the strategy and becoming an expert in one way. So one way to sell, and did I do 6? There's 6 of them. I don't know if I've missed one. It's all off the top of my head. But that's the thing. One bridge, one way. Just choose one thing and dial it in. And that reinforced why our program has been so successful. And reinforced, don't go and build 3 programs, Sally. That's just silly. Just silly. Oh, silly Sally went and built 3 programs and did exactly what she tells people not to do. But I learned a lot. So there we go. That is my learning from the literally 3 launches in a row for 3 different products that eventually did sell into our core program, which we've always had. But also, it also taught us how to clean up our program, which was exactly what we were going to do in 2022, was actually rebuild our program again to pull out the irrelevant information that's in our program. It's all there. It's just, we found a better way through working with clients that, at the moment we get them to start with message mining, and then we're like sending them, go 5 lessons down and do that. Let's put it in the right order. So that's why we're rebuilding our program, and you will do the same. Know that whatever you're doing today will look different in 12 months' time, and that's okay. But just choose one thing, dial it in. The one thing, commit to it. It's really easy to go and chase another shiny ball, because I did it and I shouldn't have. But I've learned a lot, and now it's one of my stories. All right, there we go. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And if you want to know more about what it is that we do, you can head to Sparkle Class Academy. We do have a brand new challenge starting real soon. Keep your ear to the ground. The new challenge will be starting, and we'll be opening the doors in a couple of weeks from the recording of this. And when it does release, I'll make a voiceover for that and give it to my team to add the call to action. And we've got a new little ebook out there, 25 things you should automate in your business. So if you would like to get your hands on that, then just shoot us a DM, say 25 things in the DM, whether it be on Instagram or Facebook. Our team's monitoring that, and we will shoot you the link to the 25 things to automate in your business. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me for the teaching component of this. And now we're going to head over to the VIPs and get their takeaway on my takeaways from our launch. Now, of course, guys, you've got to remember, I've got to get all the sounds in the right place. So this one's got to go to there so I can hear you. This one's got to go to there so that the people out there can hear you. Deborah, what's your key takeaway from my takeaways from the since literally September, October last year to today?
Well, I can see that while it wasn't the perfect path for you, I have to tell you, as a person that came in during that time and who finally saw you on Instagram, that I learned an awful lot. And I think that those of us who have been in that program, the Canva, the branding and the list building, I think you're going to be 1 to 3 years, I think you're going to see even more of those kind of people realizing that they're ready for your marketing program.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all you did in those programs.
Thank you. Look, and it is definitely something that we will go back to again to, like especially the list growth one, because that's more definitely at the top end of what people should learn, but it's not our core focus. And like you said, the time from conversion from those people, if we look at closer to 5,000 people now that have opted into that program, the small amount of conversions we got, the math doesn't work, right? The math just doesn't work. We, with the amount of people that joined the proper program that we sell. And therefore, one, our messaging was not on point, where if we got less people but better qualified people, the math would work, right? And that doesn't mean, though, that there weren't people in that group that weren't our ideal client, or we wouldn't have sold anything, right? It's just that the number that we sold into our core program versus the list size that we grew, it's way too low. Like, I know what industry standards are, and therefore it is way too low. So we do have amazing people like you and Robin and Sarah and Angela and, other people that have come in through that. But compared to the size of the list and the people that joined, the math's not right. The data is showing me that it is the wrong audience for the proper program that we sell. But it was fun. Like, I got to meet so many amazing people, and exactly like you said, some of them will be ready in 3, 6 months or 3 years. I'll still be here and they'll be ready for more serious growth. But at least I planted the seed, right? To let them know that there's more beyond just growing a list. There's all the other strategy that goes behind. But thank you. I love having you in here. Robin, what did you learn from what I learned from the last few months? And you're on mute if you're on mute.
I would have to agree with what Deborah said about, even though there weren't for you the results that ultimately you were wanting, for those of us who did come in and were part of it, it was a great experience. Like, it was where I was ready to move forward. So thank you for your mistake, because I probably wouldn't be here without your mistake. I'm one of those people who was around in the Sparkle world 3 years ago, fiddling around with the free stuff. But here, 3 years down the track, I'm here now in the program. So nothing's ever wasted, and that's just how things go. If you've got the right attitude. So thank you for your mistake. I wouldn't be without it.
I love it.
One of my, and beyond that, what my biggest takeaway is focusing on the one and the power of one. and just staying focused and getting really good at something. So it's sort of nearly on autopilot in your own mind. You know the process, or you know the product. You know it's almost like you know how people think, because you're just doing it over, and you know how they're going to behave, because you're just doing it over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, so that's probably my biggest takeaway from the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing is it starts to become like boring, not really, but my husband's pulling faces at me. It does start to become like you just feel like you're a record on repeat.
Groundhog Day.
Right?
Groundhog Day.
You hone it to the point where I know if I bring X amount of people in, I'll make X amount of money, and I need to spend X amount of dollars to bring X amount of people to make X amount of sales. It just becomes math. And it's not like I can just go out there and spend $1 million tomorrow to bring in heaps of people. Scaling is a process in itself. Like you still have to, you can't, it'll be good, right? Oh, I'm getting $5 leads, say, and I'll convert it 2%. So therefore, if I throw $1 million at it and bring in, 500,000 people, I'll get 2% of those. That doesn't work. Scaling's a whole other beast in its own. If scaling was easy, everyone would do it like that. But the knowledge in knowing that you can still share other things occasionally is still okay, right? We still share parts of our journey, and this is where we talk about, don't make your business a charity, right? There are lots of other things that, like, I feel that it was more of a passion project that we just came through, was opening people's eyes to the possibility of running a larger business. And then we found amazing people like yourself and Deborah, who are like, I see the possibility, and you come forth and you stay inside the sparkle world. But the same with whatever it is that you're selling. It's showing them that whatever it is you do is possible. And whether they say yes today or in 3 years' time, like you, right? You're not going anywhere, and your message will change. You probably, if you've been following me for 3 years, you're probably around the go live and when I was teaching people to recruit and 5-2 fasting and all the things that I tried. But every year our message just gets clearer and clearer and clearer. And you'll do the same, like, no matter where you are, it's a process we all have to go through. Sarah, what about you, honey? What's the takeaway for you? And we've got some questions. Anyone on the live as well, feel free to drop a Q with a question and I'm happy to answer. We've got, what part of Australia are you in? From Hugh. I am near Melbourne. I'm in Melbourne, down the bottom, and it's a nice cool day today, which is why I live in Victoria. Sarah, what's a takeaway for you, honey?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the need to measure, to keep your finger on the pulse. Because I'm at a point in my business where I'm building and I'm growing, and I don't feel that I'm at the point, obviously not at the point where you are, where you can, look at recent trends and figure out if that's really what you want to be doing. But I think that that's something that I need to build into my, my calendar, is to step back and take a look and review, and am I going where I want to be going? Kind of like what you did after the business building made easy adventure. And I think that's very, a very important thing for people to consider, for business owners to consider.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we had just gone on looking at the number of leads, you would think it was a great launch, right? You would go, wow, that many people. But then when you look on the sales on the back end, the conversion rate was like less than 0.1% or something, right? It wasn't a lot versus the amount of people that we got in. So therefore, data tells us that it's not working. Sure, we could hone it. Like, it's definitely something, if I wanted to spend time in it, we could say it's viable. We had 70 people buy it. We sold it too cheap. I mean, $497 for 3 programs that were literally, 6 to 8 weeks each. Like a few people said, I feel like I'm getting a university degree as they were coming through the personal branding, right? So it would definitely be something that we could hone and make more money and turn into a high ticket premium priced product, but it's not where I want to be. It doesn't bring me as much joy as tags, automation, squiggly lines, and sexy math, right? Because every time I'm helping people with design and I'm in Canva, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm still saying, where's the strategy? Stop chasing shiny balls, right? Because that's where I want to sit. That's where I want to be. I want to help people while they don't know yet how to read numbers, they don't yet know how to build automation. I just want them to trust my process so that they can get back to doing what it is that they're good at faster. And, that is like when people go, oh my God, like I think we interviewed Erin who said it took about 2 months. She just followed the click by click setup videos. She launched, she got sales, she got customers, and she's about to start a membership program. She said at 2 months, all of a sudden the clouds parted, the sun shone in, and she could finally see the whole process. But in that time, she was able to get clients, make money, do all of the things because she just trusted the process. She didn't know how it all went together in the right order. She just built it. And she did say it felt like she was reverse engineering everything. It's like she's thinking, but this is the next step. And I go, yeah, but we don't build it that way. That might be the next logical step that your client or prospect goes through, but that is not the actual way we build out your systems, your marketing, and all your tech. Awesome. All right. We do have a Facebook user that has put in 25 things. Send us a DM. I'm sure we'll see it in one of the groups, but we'll get you the link to get our ebook. That ebook is 25 things you should automate in your business. What is cat hocking? Cat hocking is my other half. Cat hocking is our tech girl. She is the techie cat who helps us look after our tech for our clients. Sally, what advice would you give someone like myself who wants to do a startup in Australia? A startup in what? What is it that you want to actually start? You can start up lots of things, a mowing business, a startup of an online business, a startup of coaching, startup course, startup health industry, startup gym. What sort of startup would you want to do? Question, I came in on the Canva sign up, but I knew I needed to grow a list. Yes! I'm actually stuck in lesson 5. Lesson 5 of which one? Of the list growth made easy or the Canva challenge? I don't even remember what lesson 5 was. I'd have to go back and have a look at the program. But if it's the Canva one, we do have Canva training that we run on every second Friday of, every second Friday of the month, we do a live Canva training. We're still going to remain doing Canva because of my certification with Canva and the community that I serve there, but we're not going to do it every week. We're moving it to a monthly thing, so there's been a few changes in Canva as well. I want to set up a company called Phil. Yes, I see what you're saying. Very funny. Very funny. All right. So for those who are here in the VIP room, we're about to go dark in a minute and we are going to do some more funnel hacking. I know a few of you haven't set your launch dates yet for when you're going to be launching your challenge. So for all of those inside of Freedom Funnel Academy, we are going to make sure that you set your goals as a launch date. We need those launch dates in because then we have something to go and track towards. So we'll definitely be doing all of the VIPs, all of the Freedom Funnel people that are out there. I see all those eyeballs watching. It's time to head into the VIP room now and let's get stuck into mapping out what your launch date is actually going to be. And also we're going to look at our goals. So our top goals for the week, which is what we do inside of the Facebook Elite group. So I want you to head to the Facebook Elite group. And for those that are on the replay, this is what you're going to do. Let me do a share screen and I bet you it's the wrong thing. Oh, it is the right thing. Look at that. All right. So inside of the Facebook Elite group, you're going to see this post. Okay. And in this post, what I want you to do is you need to set at least 3 to 5 goals for the week, but the things that are actually going to give you the most traction, okay, towards the larger quarterly goal that you have. We'll be doing and resetting our quarterly goals in the next couple of weeks inside of the program, so keep an ear to the ground for our clients. We will actually be running a workshop to set your quarterly goals at the end or towards the end of March. But you want to write out your goals. So is it a marketing, a sales, an education, or an innovation goal that you want to set? So choose, right? And I want to see marketing and sales, right? Remember, 80% of our time should be in income producing activities, 20% in education, and 10% in innovation. And this is what your goals are going to look like. What is the category? Okay. And what is the benchmark? Okay. I don't want you to say, I'm going to get more emails. No. Set a goal. How many emails are you going to get this week? Right. I want a benchmark. So what is the action you're going to do as well? So I'm going to get 5 emails a day by insert action you're going to take. Then post-it note it all around your computer. So every time you go off and you're chasing a shiny ball, you're spending too much time in education and innovation, you come back to your IPAs, your goals for the week, 3 to 5. You see, what most people tend to do is they will underestimate what they can do in a really long period of time. So what can you achieve in a year or 2 years? But in the short-term goals, people tend to overestimate what can be done in a short period of time. So be mindful of what you can actually get done. These short-term goals, they need to be achievable. Your bigger BHAGs, your 10-year, that needs to be the thing that makes you cry when you think about it. Like, oh my God, wouldn't it be amazing? But your short-term goals, if you're not having little wins along the way, and like my little post-it note bowl back there, every day I write 3 things. Well, I haven't done it today yet, but I write 3 things on a post-it note and I pin it under my computer. And what are those 3 main things I need to get done? And most of the time I get 1 or 2 of them done. I screw up the post-it note, I throw it in the jar back there, and I do it again the next day. And that little post-it note is a jar full of IPAs. And, I think make sure you set yourself and stay on task, because we're our own bosses, right? I always like to be able to say at the end of the day, could I pat myself on the back and say, good job, Sally, I would have hired you today? Or would I have said, you've been so lazy. If you don't get your act together, love, you're going to be out on your ass. So always ask yourself at the end of the day, would I have hired me? Did I spend a lot of time chasing shiny balls? Did I spend way too many hours choosing one photograph? Should I have been following up with customers instead, making money? Because as soon as you start focusing on growing your bank account, you can then start hiring people, hiring yourself out of the jobs that you don't like doing, and get back to doing more of the things that you love. But hey, we've all got to pound the pavement in the early days. It's just part of it. It is. Until we can hire ourselves out. And the longer you put off doing those income producing activities, the longer you're going to be spinning your wheels, just wishing and hoping and praying that you would get traction. But you got to get those income producing activities done. And here we are heading to the top of the hour. So I'm just going to say, never let anyone dull your sparkle. And if your eyes are still on me now, make sure that you post your key takeaway. Even if you've made it to the end, one key takeaway from today. What is that for you? Okay, get out those little tippy tap fingers. And if you're inside the Sparkle Elite group, go post. go post, take 5 minutes now, write down your goals and go and post them on the post, because I'm going to tag you on Friday, be your accountability coach and say, how did you go with that thing? Share with me what worked, what didn't, how can we improve? So if you do it, I got your back. I'll follow up with you and make sure that you're following through with your commitments. All right? That's what we're here for. That's what you pay us for, is to help hold you accountable. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of, all that mindset and the support that you get, that you don't get in other programs, is what we give you. So use it. That's what you're paying for. That accountability, that hand-holding, that little push to actually get that traction. All right, guys, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day. And I will see you same time next Monday for Mentoring with Sally.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. 'Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. When you didn't know me, all you wanted was a game to play.